So this one might seem a bit weird. After all, Titans aren't a faction of their own. I mean, you can play the Titanicus game, I guess, but that's not what I'm referring to here. And of course, Titans aren't specific to one race. But as I thought about how to include them in other videos about factions, I realized that I really couldn't without forcing it. I mean, yeah, I could discuss the merits of adding a Warhound to your average 40k game and how it would affect the balance of your Mechanicus army, but how many people are actually going to do that? Just slam down a 10-pound piece of plastic onto the table and act like it's just a natural addition to their army? No one's gonna do that. And besides, unless you're Henry Cavill, you aren't affording an entire army and a Titan. If you do happen to be Henry Cavill, then hi Mr. Cavill, have you considered starting a Craftworld's army? So I decided to give the Titans their very own video because quite frankly they deserve it, even if it's going to be a short one. Do you want your very own wallet destroyer so you can be the tabletop destroyer? Let's find out. Titans are what happens when a faction looks at a thing like marginal cost or efficiency and decide that it can go to hell. They want a bigger gun. And that's really all the background you need when deciding to buy a Titan. There isn't a lot of subtlety to them. They're big things that smash good. I don't know what to tell you. So why don't we see why you should go for them? With their lore, I mean, come on, look at these things. They're mechs the size of skyscrapers with a firepower to level a continent that are blessed by priests of steel to keep them fighting in the name of God. If that's somehow not your thing, then you get mechs crewed by magical aliens that can backflip over an apartment complex before cutting another one in half. If those still don't sound kick-ass, then you can have a Godzilla monster. And if none of that sounds appealing to you, then I'm sorry for whatever events in your life that ruin the concept of fun for you. They're basically what happens when Pacific Rim meets Warhammer. As for rules, what do you think is going to happen when you slam one of these things down at the table? You're going to win unless the other guy has one as well. They kick ass and take names and that's all there is to it. No fancy tricks or anything like that. The Eldar ones go fast for their size, the human ones can take an orbital bombardment to the face and call whoever ordered it a pussy. That's it. There's of course different levels of ass kicking on display. You have Baby Titan, you have Big Boy Titan, Grown Up Titan, and Toddler Titan. If you're wondering why I went from Grown Up to Baby, that's because the Warlord Titan is the size of a human toddler, and is about as effective as letting your actual 3-year-old nephew onto the tabletop and telling him to go apeshit. You might even see the Revenant and Warlord Titans in a non-apocalypse match if you take 0 other models, which is okay because you will need 0 other models. But what about the flaws of taking Titans? Well, for the lore flaws, there are none. What the fuck do you want from me? It's a 10-story death machine that shoots lasers. There's no lore flaws here. The flaws are with you if you think there's an in-universe reason why Titans are bad. But for rule reasons, let's see. Titans are just a little bit of a point sink. So if you for some reason go, I'd like to have this Titan as well as other units, then I'm sorry but there are no other units. The Titan is too fat. Also if you somehow let this thing get destroyed because you've been drinking Nil Oil instead of applying it to your models, then you're basically fucked and you deserve that loss. The 5 guardsmen you brought with the points left over probably aren't gonna win. Titans are also a case of Games Workshop once again showing their favoritism to the Imperium and Chaos, where the Titans they have are these hulking monstrosities of steel and faith with a unique design for each variant. Meanwhile, the Eldar have 2 Titans following the design philosophy of, what if we took a Guardian and made it bigger? The Tyranids get 1 and by the standards of Titans it's kinda shit, but you can take more than one of them in this kind of match so it kinda balances out I guess. And if you want a Titan for the Necrons Orcs or something, you can go fuck yourself. Sure, Forge World has Titan-esque machines, but nothing like the Imperium or Eldar have. I guess the Tau Manta is close enough, but it doesn't feel like a Titan, does it? And of course, these things are just slightly expensive. By that I don't mean it's a few $100s, I mean if you buy one I hope you're okay without utilities in your house this year. And of course, all the weapons are sold separately from the Titan body, so you don't even get a default loadout for the $1,000 you just dropped on this goddamn thing. A gun for the Warhound, the smallest one available, is $70. By comparison, the Son of God is $60. Basically, if you want to play with the cool giant mecha, you have 3 options. Either sell one of your organs to buy one of these things because GW has long stopped caring about anything resembling consumer friendliness, make or 3D print one of your own, or my personal favorite option, go play Battletech instead for a fun and cheap met game that also has tanks and infantry that aren't completely fucking irrelevant in the face of one. Merry Christmas for those who celebrate it, and have a Happy New Year everyone. Take care out there. Alright, I know it's usually a good thing for developers to patch out bugs, but there's one I hope they never fix for Ultimate Apocalypse, and it's the Imperator Titan's run speed. You build this walking cathedral and just fucking look at it go. Imagine seeing a church with a plasma cannon sprint at you in Mach 4. Fucking look at this thing. It's getting traffic jammed by Titans going at their actual speed. There he goes off to save the